If your only sort of like goal is to be liked, then you can sort of compromise yourself, your morals, your work, your relationships. So I'm looking at the camera, I'm not looking at you. I mean, I think the person I had the best rapport with was Sam Rockwell. We did everything together. I'm pretty sure we had scenes where we would have to like finish each other's sentences. So we kind of became like a weird set of twins almost. Probably when I'm working, when I'm not completely messing something up. I think it's a wonderful feeling to be on stage and kind of feel like you've got some sort of control over what you're doing, because that's such a terrifying environment to be in, especially if you don't do it all the time, and I've only done it a handful of times. So when I feel confident in that environment, I definitely feel like I'm flying. I think I've been relatively fortunate in my experiences as an actor. Yes, I've worked with people who are a bit more difficult, as people do in every industry. And actually, because I had my mother with me till I was about 18, I had sort of a good strong foundation to deal with that whenever it came my way, and sort of knew what was right and what was okay in terms of like etiquette and behaviour on sets, whether it was by someone else or by me. Production companies like Lucky Chap, Margot's production company, is doing such a great job at focusing on sort of female empowered movies, but also just making really, really great work, and I think that that's very inspiring for other men and women in the industry. There's certain departments on our set that are definitely more kind of male dominated, but there's definitely so many improvements being made. Certainly the great filmmakers that I work with, not everyone, but the ones that I've worked with for the most part, want everyone to sort of have their time in the sun. So yeah, when I'm with the people that I'm closest to is when I feel most like myself. When I'm with my dog, because I was going to say she doesn't judge me, but actually she probably does judge me a bit. She does a lot of side eye quite a lot of the time when we're together, but I still love her anyway. And when I'm doing stuff like cold water swimming and sort of just like being in the elements, I think you're forced to completely adapt to that and survive it and like embrace it. So only the real you comes out in those kind of situations, I feel. I guess respected. If your only sort of like goal is to be liked, then you can sort of compromise yourself, your morals, your work, your relationships. So yeah, I think ultimately it's more important to be respected, but also to be nice to people. If I was in a murder mystery, what would I be in real life? I don't think I'd be the one solving it, I'm not gonna lie. I've done a few escape rooms and I've gotten better, but like initially I just sort of panic and like organise things because I don't know what else to do. I could just be like a bystander, could just be just like, you know, an onlooker. I could do the whole like, I think he went that way. I think I'd probably be someone like that. I don't think I'd be the victim because I do think that I'm very suspicious naturally. So I think I'd get away from the murderer because I'm always kind of on guard anyway. Social media can be a terrific tool for other people who use it in a sort of moderate and healthy way. I mean, I've just been to my best friend's wedding and it was an excellent source of workouts, planning, wedding dress styles, you know, things like it can be a great source of all of those things. But for me, to be honest, I wasn't really getting anything out of it. I guess I don't want people I don't know to have access to my life. I mean, I wasn't really in the public eye from 9. I wasn't doing projects that focused on children or a younger demographic, and I think that's when you really get like serious instant fame. You know, yeah, it's a weird thing to be recognised by people, but pretty much all the time it's positive and supportive. It's depressing, but this is all I've ever done. So I don't know what I would do. Although I've always loved the radio, and certainly through promoting movies, I've spent a lot of time at different radio stations and with different presenters and things like that, and I've always really loved that. I love the buzz of it, like going to see like Zoe Ball and stuff, and she's like running around her studio flicking buttons and, you know, bringing people in and doing great interviews and playing great music, and nobody sees her. That seems ideal to me. So yeah, I'd quite like to do something like that, or something that involved eating, maybe. That'd be fun. Cold water is great for your mental health. So cold showers in the morning are great. Jumping into the sea is great. Music really helps me, honestly. I'll go in and out of doing meditation and things like that. But yeah, I'm very lucky. I've got wonderful people that I can speak to. I also just like being on my own. And I think that can be really helpful too, to just have some time to yourself. And actually having an animal around is just a wonderful addition to your life, and it gives you something else to focus on that isn't you. So I was trying to figure out whether I should do this job that had been offered to me, and on paper it was something that I absolutely should do, and I'd be an idiot to turn it down, but for a number of reasons it stressed me out, the idea of doing it. A brilliant director who I made Brooklyn with, John Crowley, he said to me that you have to protect your bond with your work, that it's sort of like its own little separate thing. It's separate from you and it's separate from the kind of final product, and it's the relationship that, you know, in any industry that you have with your work, and you have to look after that and you have to take care of it and respect it. And he said only ever do the things that you want or you need to do. Don't do the things that you should do. So I've always kept that in my head ever since he said it.